Hey guys, it's time to do the chapter sticky notes with chapter 4, pages 99 to 114 on biomes. So it does start right here on page 99, but we're going to kind of quickly move to the next page. All right, so on page 100, there are a couple of really good graphics here. And so here you have the average annual temperature of the biome versus the annual precipitation. And so biomes are obviously are bigger systems that are found on Earth that are many ecosystems put together, but they have similar climate, similar weather, similar type of precipitation, similar temperature, and that's why they're put together. So these are really good. This is also a really good map to kind of show you, give you a good idea of the colder ones up at the top, you know, the tundra, the taiga, the really, you know, the tropical forests here, tropical rainforests, and then the really dry parts like the desert, savannas, things like that. So these are good. These are good figures to know. So here's how this is going to work. These are the main biomes that you need to know according to the College Board. It's taiga, temperate rainforest, temperate seasonal forest, tropical rainforest, shrubland, temperate grassland, savanna, desert, and tundra. The taiga is also known as the boreal forest, so you might see it both ways. So what's important for you to know for the terrestrial biomes are the dominant plant growth, dominant animals in each biome, and then the climate. So what's the average temperature, the average precipitation, and then what climate diagram, what would the climate diagram look like for that particular biome. So this kind of is in a nutshell like what you need to know for each biome. So up here, this is kind of a messy sticky note, but you don't have to do all of this right now because we're going to be doing that also in class. What I do want you to do is to take a sticky note and kind of summarize each biome. So in the book, so summarize, give key characteristics of each biome, but you don't have to go through and list all of these because we'll be doing something like that in class where it'll be almost like a chart anyway, okay? So I just want you to summarize the biome, give the key characteristics of each one. So here it starts with the tundra, and you can see this is what a climate diagram looks like, where it shows temperature and precipitation at the same time. So you've got the tundra, the boreal forest, which is also known as the taiga, temperate rainforest, temperate seasonal forest. You can see how each one of these has, it shows it where it is on the map, and it shows a climate diagram or climatograph of the average climate. Woodland and shrubland, temperate grassland, what they also call the cold forest, tropical rainforest, the savanna or the tropical seasonal forest, and the subtropical desert. And that is it for the terrestrial ones, okay? So make sure these are the names that you need to know, like according to College Board. So make sure that as you're finding information in the book that it's matching with these names right here. So that's for terrestrial. You guys will be doing an activity where you're matching the biome with where it is on the map, with what the climatogram looks like, that kind of thing. So, and also the key characteristics. All right, then moving on to aquatic biomes. Aquatic biomes are characterized differently from terrestrial biomes because they're characterized by climate and plant and animals. Aquatic biomes are characterized by salinity, which is the amount of salt in the water, depth, turbidity. Turbidity is how kind of how quickly the water moves. Nutrient availability, and temperature kind of at the last, but really these top three: salinity, depth, and turbidity. So according to College Board, the aquatic biomes that you need to know are for freshwater, you've got streams, rivers, ponds, lakes, and wetlands. Okay. And so I want you to do the same thing that you did for the terrestrial. I want you to do one sticky note that kind of characterizes each one. And you may not even need a whole sticky note because some of these are really small, right? When we're talking about freshwater, you do need to know the zones of a lake. So the zones of a lake, you can see here, you've got benthic, which is at the very, very bottom, then the profundal zone, and then you have the limnetic zone, and the littoral zone, which is at the very, very top. Okay, and the littoral zone is where you're going to have a lot of the photosynthesis occurring because that's where a lot of the plants are. You can see as it gets deeper. Okay, so you do need to know these, so make sure you kind of get that labeled. All right, and then we've got the marine biomes: oceans, coral reefs, marshland, estuaries, and mangroves. Do the same thing. Do a little sticky note that summarizes each one because you can see them here. So this is where it begins, and these are the names of the things. So like the intertidal zone, not necessarily, focus more on kind of estuaries. And then finally, you do need to know the zones of the open ocean. These are very similar to the lake, the zones of a lake, but it does have that intertidal zone, which is where the high tide and low tide come in. It does have the aphotic, it does have the benthic on the bottom as well. Then they have the aphotic, which would be where the light can't get down to, and then the photic zone, which is where you have the photosynthesizers like algae and cyanobacteria and some of those other things that can do photosynthesis. Okay, and that is it as far as what you need to get out of the book. So keep it kind of general, and then we will be doing more, another activity that will really match it up a lot better. All right, and that is it.